Okay, so I'm doing this new moon in Taurus forecast that will happen on May 15th at about 4 a.m. Pacific time. About 4 a.m. Pacific time, Sun and Moon come together in the first degrees of Taurus in Krittikka, Nakshatra. And so this section of the sky is very it's very charged because, first of all, it's where Aries becomes Taurus. So it's this transition from that excited passion of Aries moving into the solid structure of Taurus. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac where life starts. It's that sort of passion and enthusiasm for a new beginning. And then Aries is where things settle into a stable, kind of solid existence through the senses, the world around us, the people around us, our values, our money and wealth, what our true wealth is, what our true values are, those things. That's what Taurus is about. So you can see this in your life as well. You start something, you have this idea, okay, I'm going to do something, right? But what's the real value underneath it all? Are you doing it just because you want to do something and you want to be recognized and you want to make a name for make a name for yourself and be, have your name out there and be somebody? Or do you want to do it because there's great value in it? And so this quality of Taurus really shows the value that we get from something, the value that we give, which ultimately becomes most important, rather than focusing on the money that we get. It's the value that we give. And then after a while you realize that they're not separate from each other. You realize that those who make the most money, who get the most value, give the most value. Generally, this is how this is even how business works. Business works on these principles. He who helps the most people in some way or another usually gets the most value back. Not always, but that's a general business, especially if you're doing anything like as an entrepreneur or wanting to help the world. Or the best teachers are the ones who give the most and they get the most back. So this value equation is big for the next 30 days, starting May 15th. And again, you can see here very early morning at about 4 a.m. You see by 5 a.m., this is Pacific time, the moon is done past and we're at the first Tithi, or the first lunar day. So again, this is the quality of Taurus. It's in Krittikka Nakshatra. Krittikka is ruled by the Krittikkas. It's actually the Pleiades. It's that constellation in the sky. So when you look up in the sky, you won't be able to see the sun and the moon because the sun is there. But behind it is the constellation of the Pleiades. And that's in the sign of Taurus, in the constellation of Taurus. And of course, this is the sidereal zodiac, of course, that we use in Vedic astrology. And this early part of Taurus is where where the moon is also exalted. It's in its exalted place because it's where we take that fire of Aries and we build a structure around it, particularly in those early degrees of Taurus. One of the ways to understand Krittikka, it's ruled by the god Agni. And Agni is basically the priest or the pujari, the one who works with the sacred fire. He is the sacred fire. And where we really see the sacred fire is in the fire pit. When you do like a puja or a homa, you take the earth and the bricks and you build a structure that holds the fire. And then we offer our prayers to the fire. And we throw seeds and other things into the fire, which is analogous to burning up our karma. Through intense devotion and whatnot, we burn up our karma. So this is a very powerful metaphor for the next 30 days and for this new moon, it's a great day to do a fire ceremony, to do, if not literally a fire ceremony, do it internally as well, where you offer prayers and mantras to the divine in you. And so literally this nakshatra is related to that fire pit. And this is why the first degrees of Taurus is where the moon is exalted, because the moon is the planet that produces our mind and our heart and our consciousness and our awareness. And it tends to be cold and emotional and worried. But the light of Agni, the light of fire, warms it and cuts the attachment, because we get very attached to those things we're afraid of losing through the moon. But then through this section of Taurus, where the god Agni is the ruler, there's warmth and illumination, but also structure. Because the moon is also watery and moving, and Taurus is the most stable and solid sign. So you get both the stability of Taurus with the clarity and illumination and insight and discrimination of Krittikka here. So the moon is very deeply exalted when it's, at the time of the new moon. A few other things are happening. We have a lot of planets changing signs. A lot of shifts happening. The sun moving from Aries into Taurus, moon also joining it. We also have Venus moving from Taurus into Gemini, where Venus will be in Gemini for the next several weeks. And you look up in the sky, you see, Venus as the evening star now rising after the sun. And then sort of opposite in the sky, you see Jupiter. They are making quite a show right now, because Venus is very bright after the sunset, and then on the same, across from Jupiter, across from Venus, you see very bright Jupiter, because he's retrograde, so he's very bright right now. So, quite a light show there. But Venus moving from Taurus into Gemini is going to bring more curiosity, intelligence, discrimination, flexibility, maybe trying new things romantically and being more open and playful to, different ways of relating to your partner or to life in general, new ways of finding your creative purpose, and, finding your beauty, because that's what Venus is about. But in general, this new moon is the beginning of that 30-day Taurus cycle. And these cycles are the real cycles in our life. These are the original 30-day cycles. The Gregorian calendar months have no relationship to the actual 30-day months. In fact, the Gregorian calendar months are a way to try to approximate these 30-day cycles of new moon to new moon. So this is literally the cycle that is starting. This is the Taurus cycle. So wherever the sign of Taurus falls for you, that's going to be the focus for the next 30 days. And I do forecasts. I do a daily forecast, which evaluates the sky based on the sign, the nakshatra, the tithi, the lunar phase, and the day of the week, as well as aspects. But I also do new moon and full moon forecasts as well. And if you want to know how this affects your sign, you can go ahead and become a member of the site, only 50 cents, and you can see how this will affect you. Only 50 cents for 14 days. Then if you want to continue, it's a subscription, so the subscription will automatically then charge $39.95. if you don't cancel. It's like any other subscription. So there's a lot of subscribers. It's quite a member site as well. So you could go ahead and do that. I'm going to do the forecast for the members now, and it'll be uploaded at the Facebook group for the members. So again, this will be a 30-day cycle of Taurus for all of us, where we're getting more clear and grounded in our values. But for each of the 12 signs, it's going to be different. For Pisces, it's 3rd house cycle. For Capricorn, it's 5th house cycle, which is about creativity. For Cancer, it's 11th house cycle, which is about community and social causes. So all of these things are the cycles of your life every month, and you should know how this works, because this is really what's affecting you more than anything else, month after month, day after day.